some traditional practices which can help you in healthy eating. Like these are kind of reminder settings, okay, which we are following in our tradition culture. Okay. If you follow all these steps, or if you follow all these sayings, you are actually following the ideal way to eat. Almost you are quite near to the ideal way of eating. So, furnace food is a medicine. So, once food is a medicine means you know that it should be eaten in moderate quantity or limited quantity. You should not eat the food cooked solely for himself. You have to share with others and make a connection, a relationship, maintain a relationship with the food, so it becomes a part of your life. And so it is not just to satisfy your senses, it is more than that. It becomes a part of your actual activity, lifestyle. Then walk 100 steps after food. This will help in the digestion. Eat breakfast like a king and supper like a pauper. So the breakfast is should be the biggest meal, and because you have a lot of time for the food to digest. And proper supper means it is like very limited, very less quantity, and so that it will help in fasting for the 10 hours or 12 hours, and then you break the fast with the next day morning. So that is how it helps in the basically it helps in the digestion of the food. A person who takes once a day is yogi, twice a day is bogi, thrice a day is rogi, and four times is mahapapi. So a person is once a day is yogi means actually the food which are required for the body is only less. So when you are taking one food for the less time, when only once meal, means the food is actually absorbed, you are allowing the body to heal or rest, and you activate, you energize the system. Basically you are letting the system or the you're helping the body, the systems to work function properly. And ideal meal is was initially it was two meals, the morning and evening. So before like around 10 in the morning, and then just after the sunset, or before the sunset. So we are supposed to eat only two meals. So this is, you can closely related to the intermittent fasting nowadays. This intermittent fasting is prescribed by everyone, so that it helps in all this insulin resistance and pre-diabetic condition. So that is actually it is followed nowadays. This intermittent fasting is being quite followed. So this was an actual practice which we were following it. Thrice a day is rogi. So if you eat three meals a day, that means you are not giving enough sufficient time for the three meals to get digested. You naturally will fall sick. And then four times a day means it is mahapapi, means you are misusing the resources. You are eating too much. And occasional fasting was a part of our tradition. All religions used to follow it. Every they like Hindu is Buddhist, Sikhs, or any Christianity, Islam, everybody, it is a fasting is a part of their culture. So it's a tradition. So all the festivals are interconnected with fasting. So fasting followed by feasting, it was a practice which was followed. And then yeah, prayer before the meal, as I said, when you pray it helps in the body to get digested. And some season specific food and tradition and customs. So why the season specific means in certain seasons some certain foods are available, so it will have the proper nourishment or the nutrients for it. Your body is required for that, so you have to take it. And if you follow some traditions, some saying for Amavasya, certain vegetables are advised to take. And in certain months, in rainy season, some vegetables are not, some green leafy vegetables are not advised to take. So you follow according to the climate and the weather, whatever the external environment, you go according to it. And so you are not disturbing the system, you're just following it. That is why, as far as possible, follow the traditional customs when it comes to the food. And once in 6 months, you body cleanse the body, like you do the panchakarma, or that is for swastha, that is for the what all these practices or all these instructions are basically for a normal person. Normal person means an adult, a normal adult who are not who are in good health. This you should follow in your daily practice. For a child or an elderly person, or you are sick, that this will be different. You have to Again, the same rule applies there. You have it is individualized. The whole concept of metabolism is individualized. You have to take food which is only required for you. But when it comes to the sick and the children, a little bit difference will be there. Means there will be so many diet restrictions, and so you have to follow accordingly. So so I want to conclude here, that is, eat for living and don't live for eating. So basically, what you have to imagine yourself as you are in a journey from birth to death. Okay, so you are traveling. You are traveling in a vehicle. So what is that vehicle? The vehicle is your body, and who are you? You are the Atma. So all the spiritual text says that you have to attain or satisfy through the dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is in the right way of living. You have to satisfy what the food. You have satisfy. You have to acquire the required wealth. You have to satisfy all your whatever you want to do in your life, and then you go for the spiritual path. So you are in a journey from birth to death, and who is carrying you? It is your physical body. So you have to take care of the physical body. Your job is the most, and the prime important job in your life is to take care of the body. So you have to take care of the body. So these are the way how you can take care of the body. And the main way how you can is, you have to eat consciously. You have to eat what you are eating. You have to know what you are eating. You have to observe what is happening in your body. What is the body is accepting, what is it throwing away, so what is rejecting. So this, if you understand, you will be able to limit the quantity and maximum utilize the best for the body. See, and yeah, the food diversity. I wanted to talk about the food diversity. That is, the food is diverse. The food varies from area to area, from place to place, continent to continent, race to race, and tradition to tradition, season to season, time to time, from body to body. So there is so much diversity, but still, it finally the at the end, it is, you have to see what the body accepts. Though the food are diverse, there are so many things around you. You should take only what the body is required. So that is why I'm saying that is, even though the food is diverse, you have to know what you are taking it. And yeah, food habits. If you maintain a proper food habit and a lifestyle, you can save money, time, and mental health. Money, time. Why money and time? Because most of the time we are eating more, or we are overeating. We are using so much ingredients, so much. We often go, if you are eating outside, you spend a lot of money. So this is not required for the body. Your body, as I said, it is a vehicle for you to carry. You are on a journey. You are just your vehicle. So you need to maintain it. The idea is to maintain it, maintain the condition of the vehicle, condition of the body. So you give only what is required. You give the fuel what you required. You do the maintenance properly. So by this way, finally, actual what the body requires is only very less. So by this way, you don't have to cook more. You don't have to spend more money. You can save a lot of time. And by this, by maintaining the good health habits, I mean, a healthy way of eating, you can actually improve your physical as well as your mental health. Actually, you yourself and your family, through the food, you can maintain a relationship. You can sit with your family and you can plan for the day. What food you have to cook, what is the health condition of the family members. Some may be sick, some may be having some fever or indigestion. So you can plan accordingly for the family. So it becomes a family matter. This will connect with you. The food will actually connect you with the people around you. So one question is, what is the best food we can consume first thing in the morning? I do very hungry. I do feel very hungry once I wake up, but do not have time to wait. Uh, then, yeah. So the best food we can consume in the morning, as I said, it depends it depends person to person. So you say you feel very hungry immediately after you wake up. So naturally you have to eat a heavy meal, or the first a fulfilled meal in that time. You have to make time. You have to, there is you cannot say that you don't have time to eat the meal. You make sure that you have enough time to eat the meal, because that is one of the most important activity in your life. Just like breathing, the next activity you do is eating. So you have to find, that is what I'm trying to say here. You have to maintain a relationship with the food. It will take long, you mentally as well as physically you are involved with the food, so you need to make time. Is it okay to have fruits before every meal? uh, if yes, what should be the ideal time gap between the two? Okay, so as I said, there is a category called incompatible food. So certain foods don't go with each other. Fruits will not go along with milk. There is some, there will be some reaction in the between the food and inside the body. So better always have food separately. Like, there should be a time gap between, means you can wait for the food to get digested. As I said, that symptoms you should see. When the food is, when you are feeling hungry only, you can take the next meal. So once the, when you feel the hunger, you take the fruit. If yes, yeah. So I think I've answered. What are the method of cleansing? So cleansing, see, there is various ways of cleansing. Um, so traditionally we follow that, the loose motion. I mean, we once in 6 months, your grandmother or the elder person in the family, they give some medicine for castor oil, to create, make loose motion. So that is the traditional way followed. But actually speaking, fasting is also one method of cleansing. See, for example, when you are, your body is, you consider your body as an engine, or when it is overheated, when it's overloaded, it's overworked, you need some time to rest. Okay, so when you fast, when you have the symptoms of indigestion, you fast. So that itself is the first step. First you do the first step, then you take lighter food, then you take appetizers, and then you take some medicines. If it is not subsided with it, then you go for the Shodhana therapy or the cleansing. But otherwise, periodical cleansing is good. That is basically virechana is what we follow at home. We cleanse with castor oil or other some medicines which the doctors can recommend. Yeah. So you can refer to this ancient ways to cleanse. That is mentioned in as a blog in our website. You can go through it, and you can get different methods to cleanse. What are the methods to detoxify? Yeah, that is what. So detoxification itself is a huge topic. So detoxify, if you want to know, that is what I'm trying to say. There are levels of detoxifying. When you follow this itself, when you follow these rules itself, most of the time your body will not develop any indigestion. And when you fast in between, then you give some space, time for the body to recover. And as I said, when there is indigestion, you start with the medicines. And when there is too much symptoms which the body is not recovering, then you go for the Shodhana therapy or the detoxing. For that, you have to consult a doctor, take a proper consultation. They will identify what type of Shodhana is required, whether it is Vamana, Virechana, or Vasti. So that you have to consult with the doctor, then only you can do it. Please suggest some drink to have at morning after wake up. Uh, Again, I'm saying, this is, I am just giving you the guidelines. The final thing is your body. Okay, you are the final decision maker for the body. Okay, so it is up to you. You have to observe your body, what suits you. So if your body doesn't suit any drink, it doesn't give any health issues or any digestion problem, you can go ahead with the drink, if that the drink, like you like the drink. As I said again, and I'm repeating, we are just giving, I can only give you the guidelines or the concepts in Ayurveda. It is you have to apply to in your daily practice. Can you tell more about season specific food? What type of food to eat in which season? Okay. So season specific food, that it is a big topic. So generally I can tell you that in winter season you feel more hungry. hunger, you'll get more hunger. So that time you have to eat more heavy food, or you can eat more fatty foods and like that. In summer, when it is very hot outside, you don't feel much hungry. So you have to eat some light foods, more liquid in nature. And other seasons also, depending on the body condition, again I'm repeating the same thing, depending on the external environment, depending on this situation, so many factors. I said there are so many factors involved. You have to consider all the factors and then decide which is right for you. Is animal protein required for the body? Animal protein, see animal protein is, in olden days, when there were different categories of lifestyle of people living. So a person who is living in the mountains, they have to eat animal protein because that is the food resource which they get. But now we are living in a city life, or a where you are eating, the idea is what food you digest. That is the main thing. If you can digest an animal protein, you eat. Otherwise, don't eat. It is not actually required for the body. Animal protein is not required on a daily basis. You can start your day with soap, nuts, and dry foods. Yes, you can start. Again, you see, again and again, I'm saying, you stick on to that specific meal times. You don't eat many meals. You don't confuse your body with many snacks or meal times. Stick on to specific meal time. Eat only that much, and that be how. Like if you eat like morning before one, like if you have 2 3 times of eatings, don't do that. Stick on to 2 or 3 meal times. That's what type of oil to be used for cooking. Is ghee good? Yeah, ghee is definitely good for cooking. If you can afford ghee for cooking, that is very good. And oil is basically the indigenous oil only. Organic oils you can use, that depends on the area or the which we have grown up. In Kerala we use coconut oil. In Tamil Nadu they use gingerly oil, mustard oil in North India. So the oil which you're used to since your childhood, you can take it. What is the best food we can consume first thing in the morning? Yeah, I do. I think I replied for this question. I feel very hungry once I wake up, but do not have time to wait. Yeah. When you are feeling hungry, then you have to eat. What kind of foods to eat to purify the blood? Yeah. So basically, there are two type of taste, which is kashaya and tikta. Tikta rasa. Tikta is bitter in taste. So any food which is having more kind of this taste will help the body in purification. It will help in more detoxification. So as I said, it's a balanced meal. When you're eating a balanced meal, when you're eating the right quantity in the right time, naturally your body will not cause any problem. There is no toxins, so there is no ama, there is no inflammatory response. There is so the detoxification is not required only. It is required on a regular basis, but you can recover the body. You can come out of the symptoms very quickly with minimal medicines. What order of taste should we eat? Do we need to start with sweet and end with sour? No, we have to start with sweet, then sweet and fatty things, then amla is sour, then salty, then katu tikta kashaya. Katu tikta means that is um, what spicy, bitter, astringent. Just imagine a South Indian meal. You start with a like a sweet. You eat the carbohydrates, the main course, the rice, and along with vegetables and curries, the sour and salty curries, and then you go for the end with the buttermilk. So a very light food, which is like ruksha, which helps in digest basically. Is raw food better than cooked food? Um no, it again, raw food has lot of prana in it, and cooked food is easy to digest. Again, it depends on the digestion. Again, that is why I'm again coming back to the same question, same level. Not anything is good and bad for you depends on that person. If you are accustomed to eat raw food salads for so many years, then naturally your body will develop such sort of enzymes, and you can easily digest the food. There will be no difficulty in digesting. In that case, you can eat it. What should be the proportion of raw food versus cooked food? Yeah, that is what you, as I said, there should be a um, you should not mix healthy and unhealthy. That means you should not mix raw and cooked food. You should not mix it together. When you are eating a meal, raw food and the cooked food should be separate. And there is proportion. You have to take it in a different meal times only. When two geographical North Indian and South Indian different people are together, how can we reach a common ground from the food cooked? That you have to discuss within the family. You have to know each the family members likes and dislikes, and you have to come with a common solution. That is your homework which you have to do. You have to discuss, you have to finally come to a conclusion. You have to do multiple trial and errors. Then you will know which is good for you, which is you can digest. Then you come with a common meal plan. What should we take end of the day on festival, as we make more on festivals and cannot resist it? Yeah, festivals initially it was a group, it was a group function. There's so many people were involved, so the food which is you are preparing will not be wasted so much. Everybody will take it. But nowadays there is less family members, you tend to eat it more. So basically you have to prepare less and you have to eat less. What your body requires is only you have to eat. My head feels very heavy during fasting. What can be done? Okay. So heavy, when you are feeling heavy during fasting or when you having any difficulty, that means there are two types of fasting, as I wanted to tell. One is if you have to sajala and nirjala, that is with water and without water, and sometimes you can eat fruits also, but all depends on your body constitution. So if you are feeling very like very low in energy, you cannot work, you feel dizzy, everything, then that means if your prakriti is vata paitika, that means that type of fasting is not suiting for you. Then you take some light food, some liquids, that will not cause you much problem. What foods we have to eat during menstruation, before menstruation, to avoid bloating? Yeah, so that again I'm saying it depends on you. So any food which is light to digest, this light to digest concept, easy to digest, it is your work, it is your homework you have to do at home. You have to come with a list which food is easily digestible for you. You have to know whether rasam rice is good for you, or only soups are good for you, or well, even dal and chawal will help you, or idli will help you. That it is your work. You have to come with your own solution. Are there any foods that help manage mood swings around menstrual cycle times, or how our diet should be? Yeah. During menstrual cycles, your food should be very light, easily digestible, and that doesn't affect the. Yeah, I said the food that affects emotions. So basically, you take a light diet, light, maybe liquids, then which doesn't involve so much cooking, which is easy to prepare. Doesn't involve so many ingredients in it, that you can see, which after 2 3 hours you should have that lightness. You should get the hunger again. Doctor, once we wake up, drinking water should be done before brushing or after. Once you wake up, drinking water should be done before brushing or after. See, immediately after waking, the saliva, you can you can drink water. If you are feeling thirsty, you drink. You can drink. There is nothing like that. Before brushing, you can't drink water. There is nothing like that. If you are feeling thirsty, you can drink water. Can you reheat the food? No, you cannot reheat the food from refrigerator. Yeah. Okay. So I hope it was a useful session for all of you. So I have tried to summarize and simplify the concepts of Ayurveda, and my only request is for all the parents, that you keep observing your body. You educate your children about hunger. You ask them to observe their body and identify the problems, that the digestive problems or any difficulty they face in day to day life. And so by this way you can maintain a healthy lifestyle. I hope this was a very useful session. Thank you all for joining. Thank you very much.